Hello? Hello? Hello?
We got a question up here.
Colonel Ronald, Lincoln, Rhode Island. A couple of things. Two of you seem to allude to what is referred to as the big audit. You have a governor in his second term now who promised a big audit. You work for him. Where's the audit? And where do you feel you could be successful at doing that when he hasn't been? I have one more thing, a comment and a suggestion. No matter who gets elected, and they get to the Capitol State House, they should all go to the front window and look out on the street. And when they see people there, they should be reminded that's what they're up on the hill for.
When the big audit was conducted, it took 50 volunteers, employees around the state to work on that. And I can tell you, because I was intimately involved with it, there were several hundred ideas and suggestions that came up for process improvement and cost savings. And they fell into three buckets, and I'll try to do this in a minute. The first bucket were those kinds of, I have 2 minutes? Oh, good. Were the types of things that the governor, by executive order, could implement instantly. And those are the dollars that I mentioned earlier. And by the stroke of his pen, and they were primarily purchasing regulation changes, reorganizations that were within the purview of the executive branch, we saved taxpayers $126 million in the first 18 months. Now, there was a second and a third bucket of ideas. That second bucket of ideas that had several $100 million of savings in it needed enabling legislation passed by the General Assembly. And guess how many of those got approved? None. And then the third bucket of ideas that could have saved taxpayers another $100 million or so needed contractual concessions from the public employee labor unions. Guess how many of those got through? None. So it's still there. The governor did follow through on his word, but I think there's even more that can be found. And what I'm learning, and through my years of working for large corporations on process improvements, and I just spent, and I know Frank's been out there, I spent an afternoon down at Videpro Manufacturing with Kyle Wadden's team with a lean manufacturing to learn how to strip waste out of government. That's what we need to do. And if I'm elected governor, I am going to have a lean czar reporting to me whose responsibilities are going to go through state government and stripping out the waste for the taxpayers.
Yes.
Over the last 3 years, I've had the honor of serving as state treasurer. I run a department, we spend about $10 million, there's about 90 employees. We put in place a strategic plan from the first day I got elected. I said, let's do something a little different here. Let's run it like a small business. Customer service is our #1 priority. We're going to have real people answer phone calls and give real answers to people who are calling our office. We're going to have goals and objectives for every person in this office. They're going to be held accountable. And we're going to have people looking to save money. And we're going to have people looking to be more efficient. And you know what? It's worked. We've driven out about $1 million, about 10% of costs in our budget, and handed that check back to the general fund. So it can be done. We need to do that not just in one department, we need to do it in 45 state departments. There's a lot of money that can be saved. It takes a lot of work. It's the same thing that everybody's doing, as I said before, in their small business, in their own household. They're sitting at that desk at night, sitting at that kitchen table, and you're figuring out how to make ends meet. And the state needs that same sense of urgency, because people are working so hard to keep up with their bills and taxes. Thank you.
So the audit I referred to was applying technology and pulling the information that's in a bunch of disparate computer systems across the state, putting them into one place, and then gleaning the information out of there that we need to understand where our money is going, who's getting it, and seeing where the overlap is between programs. I believe there's a lot of fat and waste in that area all by itself, and that we need to do this. To the best of my knowledge, the state doesn't have anything like that, and it needs to be pulled together. It's not hard to do. I've done it, and I intend to quarterback getting that done again. So just as a concrete example of what I do. The other thing that I believe needs to happen, and this is you do this in many different ways across many of the different areas of state government, is I know that there are multiple data centers, for example. There's a lot of waste in infrastructure between different departments where you have your own little fiefdoms and their own computer systems, computer rooms, and all the personnel and overhead and everything else that goes along with them. It has to be consolidated. It's a small state. We need to pull it all together. We need to pull it into a common area, reduce our costs that way, and upgrade our technology across the board. If we do that, and you do it right, you can get a lot of positive upside benefits for the dollars that you put into it. So that's among the things that I believe we really have to do. Thank you.